So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up.
Adopted you like Madonna, adopted kids, and everybody else adopted kids. Charlize Theron, everybody that's ever adopted Sandra Bullock.
This isn't even the first time Madonna has been accused, or there has been calls for her to be investigated for child trafficking.
And they somehow figured out how to extract
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this.
Oh my goodness, you won't believe this story I'm about to tell you. When Sean Diddy Combs mysteriously adopted a young girl, hardly anyone batted an eye. But now people are asking some seriously disturbing questions. Was this really just an innocent adoption? Or was there something way more sinister happening behind closed doors?
I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up.
And get this, people are wondering if this girl might actually be Ava Baldwin. I mean, when you look at them side by side, it's absolutely shocking how similar they look. The resemblance, honestly, it'll give you chills.
Compare this Ava to the age progression of Ava Baldwin. It's pretty crazy how much she resembles her.
But here's what's really got everyone talking. Why did Diddy suddenly choose her only to completely cut her out of his life later? Like she never even existed. This could be one of the most unsettling celebrity family secrets ever exposed. We're talking about a mysterious disappearance, a high-profile adoption, and the absolute trauma that's been hiding underneath it all.
And you know what's so crazy is, bruh, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time.
So let me spill all the tea about Diddy's shocking relationship with his adopted daughter, Ava Barron. People are saying she looks exactly like this missing girl who literally vanished without a trace. And the rumors, they're suggesting something absolutely horrifying. That Diddy didn't just adopt Ava, he might have used her, kept her hidden away in the shadows, and then just discarded her when she wasn't useful anymore. I can't
All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this.
But here's where it gets even more bizarre. Why did he take her in, and why did her shocking disappearance suddenly come to light right after the feds raided his homes? The video of Sean Diddy Combs introducing his adopted daughter Ava Barron resurfaced literally one day after his two homes were raided for trafficking. Like, the timing? Too suspicious.
Breaking news, the Department of Homeland Security has just confirmed to CNN that federal law enforcement agents have raided properties owned by musician and producer Sean Diddy Combs.
So in this clip from 2020 that went viral on TikTok, Diddy's doing this Instagram live, right? And he asks Barron to introduce herself to his followers. She starts off all shy, saying, "My name's Ava, I'm a Scorpio," but then Diddy interrupts her, like he's controlling the narrative, asking for her last name. "Ava Combs Barron," she replies. And honestly, the whole thing just feels off.
Baroni Combs, yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child.
Then, get this, the rap mogul just casually announces that he adopted this white child. And in the video, Barron tries to make light of it, saying she was on the streets before Papa Combs decided to be this caring, generous man. But something about her tone, it just wasn't sitting right with me.
I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man.
She goes on talking about how he supposedly saw her, picked her up, and invited her to stay with his kids. She really emphasized how close she was with Diddy's twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah. But here's the kicker. Even Diddy admitted that Barron's story was, in his own words, a little bit borderline suspect. Yet he tried to justify it by comparing himself to Madonna, Charlize Theron, and Sandra Bullock adopting their children. He claimed he felt she needed a black parent to support and care for her, and mentioned getting permission from Barron's mother. But like, where is this mother now?
Adopted you like Madonna, adopted kids, and everybody else adopted kids. Charlize Theron, everybody that's ever adopted Sandra Bullock.
Back then, we all thought Diddy was being this amazing humanitarian, right? I mean, it was during the pandemic, children needed love, we get it. But now, oh honey, people are giving him the biggest side eye ever, and for so many reasons. The video just feels so creepy now, and social media is absolutely losing it. But wait, it gets worse, because that's not even the biggest red flag. Let's talk about how he compared his adoption to Madonna's, which is interesting, to say the least, because people have been pointing out some seriously shady aspects of Madonna's adoptions too. According to reports, Madonna allegedly didn't exactly do things by the book with her black children. Last year, the Ethiopian World Federation accused her of illegal human and exploiting young ones. Some people claim she tricked parents by promising their kids a fantastic education in the US and promising to return them, only to turn around and adopt them instead. And don't even get me started on his comparison to Sandra Bullock, because that opens up a whole other can of worms. Bullock has actually admitted to using products made from young people's body parts for her skincare routine. Like, what even is that?
Somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
The fact that these are the people Diddy's comparing his adoption to, that tells us everything we need to know. And here's another thing that's making everyone's skin crawl. Why were only his sons in that video? Where were all his daughters? I mean, Ava specifically said she wanted to play with Diddy's daughters, so why weren't they there? Just his sons. And speaking of his sons, oh my word, the drama there. Justin was named in Lil Rod's lawsuit, and Christian has his own whole separate lawsuit going on. But the thing that's really making everyone's stomach turn, how uncomfortable Ava looked in that video. People are now wondering if she was picking up on something in that room that we couldn't see. And then, poof, she basically vanished. Sure, she was spotted with Diddy's twins, Jesse and Delilah, a couple times, but that was it. No family photos, no videos, nothing. It's like she just disappeared into thin air. And considering how Diddy was so insistent about her calling him Papa Combs, you'd think he'd want to keep her around longer than 5 seconds. But with everything coming out now, the allegations, all these claims about how Diddy treats women, fans are starting to wonder if something absolutely horrifying happened to Ava. Is that why she's been so silent? Well, this is where Diddy's former bodyguard Jen Deal dropped some major bombshells. Not only did he expose Diddy for allegedly treating Ava horribly, but he claimed Diddy just used her for clout and then dumped her when he was done. According to Gene, Diddy's whole plan was to score cheap sympathy points by adopting this supposedly homeless girl during the pandemic, but that whole loving her like his own thing? Total act for the cameras. Gene also hinted at something even darker happening to Ava. While he didn't come right out and say it, his implications were crystal clear when he said that everybody in the industry knows that Diddy is that way.
These stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this.
And sadly, Gene's got a point about how the industry just lets people get away with horrible things. I mean, just look at the track record. R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, Jeffrey Epstein. The list goes on. Even Cassie spilled in her lawsuit that Diddy had this whole crew of yes men who were more than happy to cover up his sketchy behavior. So when Gene brings this up, it really makes you wonder what else is being hidden. He even hinted, and this is truly disturbing, that Diddy might have some really inappropriate videos of Ava, if you know what I mean. And apparently, those are exactly the kind of videos the feds were looking for.
It was going on the premises of trafficking. They're looking for pictures of girls that may appear to be underage. So now they're gonna go through all those devices. If somebody got any kind of weird fetishes.
Now, here's where things take an even more chilling turn. People are starting to wonder if Ava Barron might actually be Ava Grace Baldwin, this young girl who went missing years ago from San Antonio, Texas. When you see these theories online, it's absolutely mind-blowing because when you put their photos side by side, the resemblance is uncanny. They have the same facial features, the same hair color. It's literally giving people goosebumps. The story of Ava Grace Baldwin will break your heart. Her father, David Hopper, last saw her when she was just 6 years old. She vanished from her elementary school in September 2015. The school actually waited almost 3 weeks before contacting David to tell him she hadn't been showing up. When he reported her missing to San Antonio police, what they found was absolutely chilling. The address listed for Ava and her mother, Catherine, it was just an empty lot. David was desperate to be a good father to Ava. After his super brief 34-day marriage to Catherine ended, he fought tooth and nail for custody. We're talking $45,000 and 5 different lawyers. While he was fighting this legal battle, he discovered Catherine was living this really troubled life, bouncing between shelters and different relationships. And then something absolutely horrifying happened. Child Protective Services contacted him about this video of Catherine doing some really inappropriate things while Ava was in the background. Things got even worse when Catherine just disappeared with Ava and their car was found abandoned in a San Antonio park 7 months later.
When we sent the police out there to the location of the last address that we had known from it turned out to be an empty lot. And that's when we kind of figured, okay, there's something going on here.
Even though Ava would be 14 now and David has full custody, there's still no trace of them. He thinks Catherine's family might be hiding them, but there's no solid proof. Despite all this heartbreak, David hasn't given up hope. He believes there have been sightings of Ava and Catherine since they vanished. He keeps posting these absolutely heartbreaking letters to Ava on a special Facebook page, pouring out all his love and longing for her, holding on to hope that they'll be together again someday. Meanwhile, the situation with Diddy just keeps getting more and more disturbing, especially with all these women coming forward with serious allegations against him going back to the early 90s. This isn't just some recent thing. We're talking about 30 years of alleged inappropriate behavior. Take Joey Dickerson-Neal's story. It's absolutely horrifying. She claims Diddy kept pursuing her for a date, but she knew his shady reputation and kept saying no. When she finally gave in, oh my God, what happened next is like something from a nightmare. According to her lawsuit, Diddy allegedly her drink when she wasn't looking, leaving her so messed up she couldn't even walk. He pressured her to take a hit from a blunt, drove her to a music studio, and when she couldn't even get out of the car, he took her to where he was staying and... I can't even say it. But wait, it gets worse. She claims he recorded the assault and shared it around. Just days later, her friend Devin from the 90s R&B group Jodeci told her he'd seen the video. But poor Devin was too scared to speak up, worried about what would happen to his band if he went against Diddy. Another anonymous woman came forward with an equally terrifying story about Diddy and his friend Aaron Hall. They met at an MCA Records event where everything started off fun and friendly. But when they went to Hall's place for an after party, it turned into a nightmare. She claims they got her and her friend completely drunk and both men them. And there's this other anonymous accuser who was just 17 when Diddy and his crew allegedly assaulted her at his New York studio. She says Harve Pierre, who used to run Bad Boy Records, flew her out on Diddy's private jet. Once there, they allegedly and assaulted her. The details are absolutely sickening.
Lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp!
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called.
Speaking of young talent, let's talk about Usher. Diddy noticed him when he was just 14 and quickly signed him to Bad Boy Entertainment. But with that came a whole new lifestyle that would change everything.
It's like just filled with chicks and like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
That lifestyle? It left some deep scars on Usher. As a young artist, he saw things happening around him that his teenage mind couldn't even process.
Indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Fast forward to 2012, Usher opened up to Oprah about these wild and crazy parties Diddy introduced him to when he was just a kid. He admitted he saw things no teenager should ever see.
You know, with Puffy in that time, or the tunnel. But these are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be. I'm around grown women, and I'm seeing them do things and have experiences that I'm not.
Poor Usher felt pressured into doing things he wasn't emotionally or mentally ready for. Looking back now, he regrets some of those choices, but at the time, he was just trying to survive in that world.
What I was there for. I was there because I wanted a career, man. So we would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, man, you gotta chill, like you just a little bit too intense. And I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. You're gonna make me a priority.
But wait, it gets even creepier. This old video of Diddy with an underage Justin Bieber just resurfaced, and it's making everyone's skin crawl. In the clip, Diddy's standing next to baby Bieber, talking about having him for 48 hours and doing things they can't really disclose. Like, what?
Now he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. we can't really disclose.
He further added,
It's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Diddy even brings up Usher in the video, bragging about having legal guardianship over him when he was a teenager working on his first album. The whole thing is just yikes.
Given custody of him, you know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship.
Social media is absolutely losing it over these videos. People are seriously worried about what was really going on with these underage stars. And get this, Diddy promised to give Bieber his white Lamborghini when he turned 16.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come in LA. Yeah, this will be yours. So every time you come in LA, it's a little dusty.
But Bieber wasn't buying it. He told People magazine, Diddy said, when I turn 16, he will give me his Lamborghini, but we all know Diddy's not going to give me his Lamborghini. He's all talk. Even young Justin could see through the empty promises.
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, you know, shrooms, everything, and it was just an escape for me.
Now that all this has come to light, people are connecting the dots. Justin's stayed pretty quiet, but he's dropped hints about the trauma he went through.
Scary. I basically said to myself, oh my God, if you're real, you get me through this.
There's this heartbreaking video where Justin's standing with Diddy, looking so uncomfortable and avoiding eye contact. Fans are saying his body language speaks volumes about what he might have been going through.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners.
And as for Ava Barron, looks like she saw those red flags around Diddy and ran for the hills. With all these allegations and lawsuits piling up, can you blame her? Girl made the smart move and got out while she could. And that's all the tea for today, folks. Bye.